Take out my hat. Yeah, government's fault.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare of our first cannon gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and home of the brave?
And now, please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Gentlemen, please replace your caps. Please be seated.
And it's ironic, isn't it? How now that we're actually here, we just want time to slow down for a tiny bit, to grant us a few more minutes to hang out with our friends, to celebrate our successes, and to thank all those who helped us get to where we are today. Now, we're all part of one group, the class of 2013, but we're far from homogenous. In fact, each student among the hundreds in our class is unique in his or her own way. Now, anyone that knows me knows that one of my all-time specialties is procrastination. And yeah, so 3 college apps in one day, yeah, I kinda did that, my bad. But in all seriousness, I found that the way we react to our school environment defines us in some way. For me, I realized that I've been pushing away the thought of college. It just doesn't seem real. It's abstract, like some sort of monster that feeds on our praises, worries, and passions. We've all heard the stereotype. People doing certain things just for their college applications. But what does it say about us if we keep living this way? Are we just going to spend the rest of our lives enslaved to numbers, instructions, and exams? Now, I'm not saying that grades didn't or don't matter, but it's simply unhealthy to obsess over academics. For example, when I was a tiny, pathetic sophomore, and I didn't get the grade I expected on my first Chem Honors lab, I marched right up to Mr. Chung, pulled out my lab notebook, and pointed out every single little detail that I could possibly get points back on. Sorry, Mr. Chung. In the end, I got 1 point back. I was so narrow-minded that I found this as a huge accomplishment. I was only focused on the points, and I didn't see my education perspective. Because, in the end, that's what it's all about, perspective. Now, we all know that high school has had its ups and downs, but that's not something unique to Cupertino or high school in general. That's life. But, although each of us have had our unique high school experiences, I think it's wrong to think of this as an end to growing up. Because there will always be problems and blessings in whatever we do, but it's how we respond that matters. Now that's what defines us. So, to all the juniors and underclassmen, I'd say don't only look forward to being a senior and graduating. That'll keep you from seeing what's right in front of you, your life and everything in it, the good and the bad. Farsightedness isn't going to make you a better person. Instead, you need to have a full view of everything. Today, tomorrow, next week, next summer graduation, while keeping it all in perspective. So, strike a balance. and learn to understand others for who they are and where they're at in life. Because behind every veil of a stereotype stands a real person with a unique view of the world. If we see why everybody is the way they are, we will see for ourselves who we are as well. So, as we move on into college or the work environment or wherever life takes us, I hope that, above all else, we can continue incorporating everything we experience into the way we see the world. We just need to take it season by season. So congratulations, class of 2013. You guys deserve the best.
Thank you, Joyce. Our second student speaker this evening, Nikhil Kanti.
Thank you, Ms. Tomberlane. I have the peculiar task of following up after Joyce. Let's see how well I do. My friends, today we stand at the crossroads of childhood and adulthood. Tomorrow, we take on the responsibilities and expectations of grown-ups. We leave our challenges and our adventures from the past 4 years and yesterday. High school is what we make of it, and since we haven't graduated yet, that marginal utility maximizing rule still applies to this speech. So, I'd selfishly like to ask for you to spend your last few minutes as high school seniors listening to me talk, with the promise that this walk down memory lane will be a worthy send-off to our 4 years at this school. In junior year, I tried out to be the villain in the homecoming skit. The role was that of the Godfather, and since I was a big fan of the novel, you could say it was an offer I could not refuse. Alright, yeah, people got that joke, okay. I remember that skit for 2 reasons. First, I got to maliciously rip a sign that said Dusty Spirit in half. I got the whole gym to shriek, "No!" And in general, it was a very Oscar-worthy villainous performance. The second reason is I came out of my shell in that skit. The Nikhil who stepped onto campus in 2009 would never have dreamed of being in the homecoming skit, let alone being the next Marlon Brando. It took a while for this rebel to find his cause. But, in a sense, that's what high school's about. We've all had such moments, whether it meant performing in front of the school, losing 12 pounds in a week, or training day after day until that mile time was under 5 minutes. Our mettle has been tested in various ways through these 4 years. We have all come out of our shells through our unforgettable experiences. Regardless of who we met and what we achieved, we leave something behind when we graduate. We have to give something for that diploma. We're the class that's been winning rallies since freshman year. We're the class that goes to sleep at 3 and gets up at 5 because the gym's not decorating itself. And I can say with certainty that we're the class that hated College Board the most. We're the class with bow ties for Sandy and World We Dream, with students making headlines and a difference every day. We are one tough act to follow. Today, 4 years after I walked onto campus, I realize I'm not an island. I am who I am because of the people I met in these transformative years. And looking at what we've accomplished, I'd be honored if I've played a part in your lives. Why? Because we are good, strong, capable people. Here on the grass are some of the best individuals we will ever know. Before I finish, I want to talk about one more group of people who've made an impact on our lives, and they've joined us here. At the end of the day, it's not a STAR test report or our funding that makes us a great school. It's the teachers. A teacher can change a student's life, and ours are no exception. A teacher who is here before we are and stays on campus after everyone is gone, making sure our tests, quizzes, and robots are given the attention they deserve. A teacher who loves this school so much, he wrote a book on it, who makes me proud to be a pioneer. A teacher who can make a tough class into an adventure every single day, regardless of how pitiful our sleep had been the night before it. A teacher who talked to a senior just after he crashed his car about how it's not the end of the world, and gave him courage to get behind the wheel again. We give something when we accept our diplomas today. We take pictures with our friends, with our families, in these beautiful caps and gowns. But somewhere in the back of our minds, we realize that a really great part of our lives is drawing to a close. All of this, all of our achievements, all of our adventures, our friendships, and our great moments are now part of yesterday. And regardless of how we all spend that yesterday, we move on to tomorrow. In the words of Winnie the Pooh, how lucky I am having something that makes saying goodbye so hard. Thank you for giving me the best 4 years of my life. Thank you for being who you are. Thank you for being an amazing class. Goodbye, 2013.
Thank you, Nikhil.